Hello, I am Weevil or something. No, I'm not. Or am I? I don't have anything to say, but all I can say is that this is Generation 6 in a battle. So this is actually versus Master, or whatever he calls himself. Owls and numbers. My friend Al, and he is a battler. And if you look at his team, he has Aegislash and Breloom and Mega Ampharos. It's quite intimidating, actually. Fuck, I can see myself, like, looking at the videos, like, watch him here, nothing will happen. Alright, that's a problem. It's also sorry for the angle, I couldn't get a good angle, but oh well. I'm playing with the stylus, so that gets annoying. I shall just put that down. But, yep, that's battle. I'm going to lead off with my Holocher, Banded Holocher. I'm just going to U-turn out. I don't do that much damage, so I know he's defensive straight away. I'm going to go into my Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, my shiny, I can't remember the name of it, but it's the thing that evolves from Swirlix. I think it's called like Slow Puff or something like that. But anyway, he does Ice Beam. It doesn't do very much, which does confirm to me that yeah, he's not very offensive. And he goes for Flash Cannon. I'm like, whoa, and then it does nothing. So I'm like, yeah, he's defensive. I'm gonna go for a Toxic just because Toxicking a defensive Blastoise is always a good thing, and that does. It's all right. It's pretty good. This Blastoise is Pokemon with leftovers, so I can pretty much guarantee that because it's Gen 6, you have to have like pick up level 100 Pokemon to have more leftovers, and even that it's quite rare. He probably doesn't have any more leftovers Pokemon, so I know that's his leftovers guy. He knows this is my leftovers guy. It's all good. So I'm actually going to withdraw. No, I'm not. He's doing Wish on Stay Puft. Stay Puft to use Wish because he learns that he hasn't got the highest HP, but he can Wish, so it's all right. I'm gonna go to my Kingdom Hearts weapon rack because that's a joke. I know people in Kingdom Hearts use like these keys for weapons. I don't really play that. I just like I've seen images of Kingdom Heart posters and stuff and videos of trailers and stuff, and they do use keys. So it's like a Kingdom Heart weapon rack. Okay. But Klefki is actually pretty good. Prankster, Spikes. Decided to train one up, and he's not bad actually. Uh, my one has bit of a gimmicky set with Citrus Berry and a Recycle, so he can get a quarter of his health back doing that. It's not as good as like Recover or anything, but it's something, just for the fourth move. As I gave him the Citrus Berry, like I could use Recycle with this, and I did. Anyway, he's gonna kill off my Slurpuff with his Ampharos, and this Ampharos wrecked me. Like, I didn't have anything better for Ampharos, because like, you know Ampharos, and he's got a Mega Evolution, right? And I was like, yep, just bring it Avalok, try to use Avalanche, and then he's like, yep, Mega Evolve into Mega Amphi. He's super scary with his hair and his tail hair and his balls all over his tail hair. His Mold Breaker. He's pretty scary. And he's going for Focus Blast, and like, ah, goddammit, it's not Stab, so maybe I can live it? But no, no chance. I think it was a critical hit. I don't think the crit mattered, but, well, but if it did, then I would have used Avalanche on him, and it would have done quite a bit of damage indeed, and it would have made this a lot easier. So now I just had to use my other Pokemon aren't going to be so useful against Mega Amphi. Like this guy, I actually use my high jump kick against him. It does quite a lot. Choice by not high jump kick, but it's not enough to kill, and my Holucha goes down. It's not that great for Holucha because he's dead now, but that's alright. So I make the smart play here, and I go into my Mega Manetric, well, my Mega Man, he does Mega Evolve, but I'm like, well, I could Mega Evolve, but I want to get the Intimidate on something else, like his Honedge evolution, Aegislash or Aegislash, however you pronounce it, that broken piece of crap. It's like, well, I wanted to get that I want to lower his attack and then use Overheat on it, or Flamethrower or something like that later on. So I want for it to switch in and then switch out so it's got minus attack, so it has the Sword Stance back up to neutral, go into my Talonflame. But instead I'm just going to use my Talonflame to kill off the Ampharos. Now it doesn't have static, I really don't have to worry about that. And this is Gale Wings, so I am going to be outspeeding everything that doesn't have priority on his team. The Pokemon that does have priority is his Technician Breloom. I think it does have Technician, but it definitely does have Mach Punch. And it definitely doesn't have a Poison Orb, so I'm just going to assume that. I'm going to start using Bulk Up on my Talonflame because my only two Pokemon left are, in fact, this Talonflame and my Klefki. So it's currently looking at 2-5 right. It's really not looking in my favor. He's going to cure Blastoise of Poisoning, although I don't really mind about that. I'm going for my second Bulk Up because that's just what Talonflame does. And he's going to go for the Psychic, covering it just for coverage, I guess. And it doesn't do too much. I'm like, alright, I don't have any special defense investment in this, so he's either bulky or he's, I don't know, just like minus special attack nature or something, but I'm just assuming he doesn't do that because that'd be stupid. And after seeing Wish and Aromatherapy, I'm pretty sure he's defensive, so I can just set up on him more. And he goes into his Aegis Slash now, and I really don't like Aegis Slash, so I'm like, well, I don't want him to use King's Shield on the turn I use Flare Blitz, because that's my final move. I've got Roost, Bulk Up, Flare Blitz, and Brave Bird. It's not the best coverage, but it does do a lot of damage, so I don't really have to worry about that too much. It's pretty nice. It's walled by lots of things, walled by Heatran, walled by Zekrom / Mega Amphi. It's just walled by a lot, but I like it for like maybe lower tiers. So I'm gonna use that a little bit in those. Basically, Shadow Claw didn't do that much. It was a Life Orb, so I'm like, well, now's probably a good chance for him to try to use King's Shield to lower my attack, but he just goes to Shadow Claw, and unluckily for me, he does get that critical hit. Shadow Claw does have a high chance of that, and I just couldn't live it. It was just too much for Talonflame to handle, and he dies. And my last Pokemon is Klefki, and Klefki is going to at least do a little bit of work for me now. He uses his Flower Play. Now he's in attack mode. He's not gonna live that at all. It's his attack stat, base 150, Foul Play on him with his base 50 defenses. He's really not gonna live that. He goes to his Breloom. I'm like, well, I just want to see how much Foul Play does. He does go for the Mach Punch, I guess, predicting, I don't know, like Thunder Wave or something. It's like, he'll try to go first, so I'll just use Mach Punch, see how much it does. I go for the Foul Play. It does like a quarter. And he goes for the Spore, and I'm like, well, I'm screwed. And the fact he used Mach Punch does kind of confirm to me, yeah, he's probably going to be running Technician on that. He doesn't have the Toxic Orb. I don't know what item he has, but it probably isn't the... It definitely isn't the Toxic Orb. I don't know what else he could have, but he does have the Technician Power-Up Punch, which is really OP. And my Citrus Berry comes into play now, and I'm going to heal back a little bit of my health right now, and it's going to make him use another Mach Punch, and it's going to do quite a lot of damage. But I do wake up here, and I do go for the Thunder Wave, and I do believe that Klefki is going to get a little bit of stalling in to make this battle 30 turns long. Actually, this battle's only about 9 minutes 27, so that 9 minutes 20 seconds. 30 turns, that's actually pretty quick, so, like, all just, like, things people saying, like, oh, like, Generation 6, like, all the animations are super slow. It's actually pretty quick. Like, you'd think it'd take a long time, like Pokemon Colosseum, but 30 turns in 9 minutes it's pretty good. It's about a turn per 20 seconds, something like that. Something around that. So it is actually not that slow compared to, like, all generations, so it's not as slow as people say. Cuff, cuff, snuff, snuff. Yeah, so I'm pretty much doomed here. I'm gonna lose 4-0 here. I'm not gonna sugarcoat the pile of crap. I mean, I can't deny it anymore. I can't say, well, maybe there's a chance, because, look at it, like, I've got Klefki. His best move, his only offensive move is Foul Play. His only move is Thunder Wave, Spikes, and Recycle. He's only going to be able to get a fourth of his health back by using Recycle, and only when he's below yellow, below half. So he really isn't going to be doing that much. All he's going to be able to do is try to lower the score a little bit, so I don't lose as badly. Like, I don't mind losing like 4-0, like 5-0 and 6-0 is just unacceptable. 4-0, 3-0 isn't too bad, and I nearly did get the 3-0 actually, because Klefki did do quite a lot of damage to Breloom actually. Like, for Klefki using Foul Play, he did do quite a lot. But anyway, in comes this Holucho, who is going to, no bullshit, nothing, he is going to be finishing off the match, like, pretty much like right here. Klefki's going to try to get as much health as he can back. I'm going to use my Thunder Wave on him just to be like, well, maybe he won't get a chance to use High Jump Kick. But he has the Lumberry, and that's just going to give him Unburden. It's just not going to do anything good for me. So even if this didn't get a crit and didn't kill me, he probably would have outsped me if he had been paralyzed anyway, so that's all I've got for you to say. So, yeah, good game, Al. You did really well. I did terribly. I played like a 4-year-old. I didn't Mega Evolve. So many mistakes on my part, but I guess in the end it just boiled down to that. Maybe boiled down to that critical hit you got with the fucking Shadow Claw, but I'm not gonna sit here and whine. It was a good game, and I played badly. I deserve the loss. Deserve to win. Good job. Now, I don't really have much else to say here, so I'm gonna end it there. And see you later.